Yeah, PHP is nice, right? I mean, then we have the other guy. What's the name himself?
Rahim.
Yeah, Rahim. Right. Let me see if Rahim. Oh, Rahim or Brahim or what is it? Brahim. Okay. Yeah. So welcome, guys. This
Yeah,
is
thank you very much.
yeah. You also work with Node.js, right?
No, I don't work with Node.js. I
Mm.
started ASP.NET Core recently.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
okay. You're welcome. This should be
Yes, thank
helpful
you
for
very
you.
much. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Is your first? I mean, you were working with another technology and you decided to join this.
Apparently, I was working with C++.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Easy.
Senior
C++,
man.
C++ is not easy, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yes,
Okay, that.
yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome
Thank you
again.
very much.
Yeah. So you started. Are you part of the community? Have you been joining our event?
Yes, yes, I'm part of the community.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, I'm part
okay.
of the organizing team.
You are part of the organizing team itself. I mean,
Yes,
yes, Charlie. Sometimes the name itself, I mean, if you can't keep all of the names, it's not
yes,
easy.
Charlie.
that's true.
Day to day, the weekday stress and all that, you forget it, right? It's not easy. So welcome to, I mean, the word of like .NET world, right? It's very fun. I mean, so you can do
Yeah,
anything.
Rahim.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, we have another person join, right? Shaka. Oh,
Shanu.
mm-hmm. Charlie, do I have to
Yeah.
have my glasses on? I mean, at this point, I don't know where I've put these glasses. Um, so yeah, let's him to also talk to us, or we can start off with you. So now you take over, and then let's see how it go.
Yes. So good morning, and you are welcome to the end of month meetup for Accra.NET user group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been having we had uh, uh, a meeting last, I think, about 2 months ago, a physical meeting, and this one of the virtual events that we have, monthly to be able to keep the group running, and also to keep us abreast with modern technologies. But yes, you are welcome once again. So today we have Clifford, Isaac Clifford Opoku here to take us through how to build your first API with .NET Core, a modern API with .NET Core, which involves a lot of things to make your APIs more robust and secure. Yes. So sit tight and enjoy the ride. So Clifford,
Yeah,
please, so you can start.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and then and trying to share my Visual Studio Code. I mean, I think
Okay,
um
please do.
yeah. Let me see if I can move this thing. Share the screen button right here to maybe here. Yeah. So most of you guys are now coming to the .NET world, right? And it's fun, right? Working with .NET. I know someone is working with Laravel, Node.js, and everything, and it's nice. But when you come to .NET, that is why we mostly see that it's kind of enterprise level already. So there was a lot of things in there that you need to follow, right? Some kind of enterprise level stuff. Usually with Node.js, um Express within, I mean, 2 minutes or something, you can bootstrap, I mean, some kind of, the port is running on a certain, I mean, the app is running on a certain port, right? But here, I mean, those working with Laravel, I think they already have that kind of a template where you will need to, I mean, it will bootstrap everything for you, right? So I don't have a fancy kind of PowerPoint, right? We just go straight to the point and then we start building, right? And this is not introduction to ASP.NET. So I think last month we had someone coming in to explain what .NET is all about, what you can build with .NET, right? And that is good. This is where ASP.NET Core. How do we build an API with ASP.NET Core, right? For me, like, let's say I want to learn .NET. Someone is learning .NET. And how can you build an API? Just simple one, right? So to do that is very simple, right? you're gonna have some kind of .NET CLI, right? Those of us working with Angular, and then I think Node.js has and this Next.js backend stuff, right? Where they have a CLI that you can use to bootstrap your application, right? I think in Express, I don't know whether you don't have that one yet. So in here, it's very simple where I want to create my first kind of. You see, this is going to be very interactive. If you have a question, you think you have a suggestion or something, come up with it. This is where we all trying to build it, right? I'm not the mastermind here. We are all learning together, and we are all technical people. Or if you are not technical, we are trying to learn something, right? So how do we build all these things? So let me see if I have something here. I do not have. Yeah, so this is kind of empty folder right here, and then I'm gonna say that when you want to, invoke that .NET CLI, the first thing you do is that you call this .NET, right? And I say .NET, let's say .NET, what do we want to build? Let's say new, right? So because we want to build something new, right? And then I'm going to say that web API. The point is that if I want to give it a name, right? If I don't want this to be sitting in my current directory, that's why I'll do the N, and then maybe I'll bring the whatever I want to create name in here. But if I want to pick my current directory, just do the .NET name web API, right? And it's gonna bootstrap something for you. So let's see and then this is how it's gonna do. Let me switch to .NET backend from here. Good. Yeah. So one thing that I want to show you, those of us working with VS Code, VS Code has this functionality called profile, right? It's very, very nice. And so if you are someone working with multiple technology, you have you can create a profile with a certain extensions in there, right? So that whenever you switch to React, you have extensions that you are working with React, and whenever you switch to .NET or whatever, you have a certain extension in there separate, right? So you switch to profile. So I don't want what I have a certain setting I have with React conflict with .NET, right? So that is one thing. Okay. When we do that, basically, if you are you are new, don't worry. .NET itself is, we say that ASP.NET, when we say .NET, so what there's this kind of confusion right here where we have .NET and we have ASP.NET Core, right? And sometimes you can say .NET and then we are trying to refer to this .NET Core. So the point that the .NET Core is what we use to build the API, right? So if you are coming from Node environment, I'm going to say that think of .NET as Node, right? Where you install that one and it gives you the platform to run JavaScript. So this .NET is kind of SDK where you're going to download and then you install that, right? When you install, you'll be able to run this C# code, right? So it comes with all the packages, tools that help you to run this C# code. And inside that, that's where we have the framework. ASP.NET Core is a backend framework. .NET MAUI is a mobile. Blazor is a front-end framework, and all of them you can run them. With the help of .NET that you have installed, right? The .NET SDK, right? So this is a ASP.NET Core. And if you are working with Node.js, this is very simple, right? This sounds familiar or something where you have this kind of map here, which is a HTTP method right here, trying to map to this route, and then when you run the application, it's gonna sit in this route. So let me try to see if we can run this right now. So to run that, we're gonna say that .NET run, right? And then I'm gonna launch my Postman right here. I think Postman is gonna launch a work stuff. Jesus, let me change the workspace of Postman right now. Right. Let me switch to for div workspace so that we get some workspace to work with. Or let me go for this, right? Is it for work? Yeah. So right now, if you already know about Postman. Postman is where you serve as a client for you to make your API calls. So I'm gonna make a new request right here, and then let's go and check the port right here. This is running on this port. And then we can go ahead and say that this. And then let's say that this is the route, right? The route was defined here. And we can pick this route, right? So let's see if it works. We are doing it right. And then let's see if we make a request right now, we are getting this. And this is a default way when you create an API with .NET. But the thing is that there is two ways to do this, to build an API in ESP.NET Core, right? And if you have been working with Node.js, you know that you probably create your route, your controller, and then you map everything. But in here, what we are seeing here is not a controller-based approach, right? This is a new way of creating API in .NET, which is coming up, right? So when you will say that the controller, mostly you do, those from Laravel, they know about this controller-based approach, right? You have your controller, and then you have all these routes, maybe something like that, right? But Node.js, you are familiar with this thing approach, right? You map the routes this like this, right? But this version right here, the API we see is kind of minimal, right? So it's not that the whole concept. This is a minimal way of building an API. So they call it minimal API, right? And you can use this to build an API also. You're not going to face any issue, right? But what I'm going to do today is that I'm going to show you controller based, which is the traditional way of doing things, right? So for us to do that here, right? This is also showing you. For us to do that, we need to clean the project small. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to clean this right here. I'm going to clean this right here. Okay, good. So we're going to clean all of this, and don't worry about the warning right here. This is coming from Sonaki, right? So we're going to probably do this, and we're going to install some packages, right? Let me try to admit somebody. So in the world of .NET, is kind of a Microsoft product. So most of the packages are sitting, when we go to those coming from Node.js, we have like npm, where this is where your packages are sitting, right? If you want to install any package, you come to npm and then you install that. But in .NET, it's not. It's also something we call, someone will say nugget or nougat, right? Depending on where you are coming from, right? So you can say nougat, you can say nugget, right? Yeah, so this is where you probably will install some packages, right? All the packages are here, and you're gonna find them and you install them, right? So this is how it look like. And then when you go in there, you probably will have the CLI, which we are using. But when you are using Visual Studio, it's also, different stuff, right? So those of us working with .NET, Node.js and all that, you see, when you are building your project, the first thing that you want to do is that you want to have a model which talk to the data. So I'm going to demonstrate this ESP.NET called simple API with just cloud functionality, right? When we create, we read, and we delete. Simple, right? But we're going to learn everything that can get you started, right? From here, you can keep on doing stuff. So I'm not going to create a complex folders right here. I'm just going to maybe say that source, and then I can leave the source self. Let's not make it seem complex. Let's do everything in the root directory right here. So I'm going to do data, right, which is going to take in something, and I'm going to this one. There wasn't any something like controller, so I'm going to do controller, right? So we have this controller thing sitting here. Is it the spellings right? Controllers. Let's do this. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create another one called service, right? And then I'm going to create another one called model, right? So this is kind of where our models will sit, right? This is a model. So when we have our model sitting like that, that is good, right? So now we put our model in here, and then you can see there from this that I'm saying that this is going to be a product API. So we're going to create a C# class, and then we're going to say that product. So this is basically going to be product, right? So, and this is a model, right? So when we talk of model, you can think of it as entity or something like that, right? You know, where that is what you're going to put into the database. So I think when you are using something like Node.js and MongoDB like that, MongoDB is NoSQL, so it has its own way of doing stuff. But this is how you're going to do. But you know, the copilot right here is trying to suggest stuff, but I don't want to have just a simple thing, right? And we're gonna make sure that the ID here, we don't want to have these IDs. We want to have kind of GUI IDs, right? Something like that. We don't want to have the normal hints 1, 2, 3 or something. We want to just have a random stuff, right? Random string, and then which is good GUI ID. So we have this product right here, and what we need to do is that we need to go in there and trying to install some packages. So before we go in there, mostly when you are working with the Node.js or something, you probably have your main CSS, your main stuff, right? Like your main .inds or whatever app.inds. That is your main stuff. In .NET here or C# application, you mostly see the program.cs, which means that whenever the application run, this is going to be the entry point of your application. This is what's going to run, right? This is where, the ASP.NET Core will find this first, right? So this is what is running. So everything we do, it needs to have a certain kind of a link, right? So to this, it's other things. So that is it. So you can think of this program.cs as your main, if you are from Node, your main or something like that, your index.cs. Okay, so when we have our model, it's very simple. Just name here, and then we have ID. So we're gonna go in there and trying to come up with some kind of packages. Right? So we can go to here. First of all, I want to do SQLite, right? So we probably here when you come to Nuggets, you can always try to search for SQLite, right? But you see, when I do SQLite, I'm gonna get a lot of SQLite, which you're gonna be confused on which one to install, right? So the best thing you can always do is that you need to make sure you bring in the Microsoft keyword, right? So there is this concept of entity framework core here. I think that is what I wanted to explain. With Node.js, you have some kind of what they call mongoose, and then what they call typorem, Prisma, or something like that. And these are all, something that help you to not to, in the basic concept. Let's say that you don't want to write SQL, right? And this thing we want to use relational database, but we don't want to write the raw SQL. So this entity framework core will help us to write things like C# code stuff, and then under the hood it will do the SQL stuff for us, right? Like how Prisma would do, right, on Node.js, right? So that is what entity framework. Also, anything data stuff, this is entity framework core. But we don't have only entity framework core. We still have that part here, right? These are the two things here. So what that part is it double P, right? I think it's double P. Yeah. So what that part mostly do is that it's saying, hey, we will allow you to write your do they have, I think they should, okay, this is the GitHub repo. What they do is that, hey, we will allow you to write your SQL, right? We will allow you to write your SQL with a combination of the C# code, right? Which entity framework core is trying to at a point in advanced level, you can write raw SQL in entity framework core, but the point is that it helps you to write some stuff, and you're not going to write the SQL yourself, right? So if you want to install anything data, right, this is how you do it. You probably will going to do this, right? And then you do this, and let me see that SQLite, because entity framework core is what we're going to use. Let's see if SQLite is gonna pull up, right? So we see that SQLite. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So you see now still when we do entity framework call SQLite, it's not coming in, right? Unless we add the word Microsoft. Let's add the word Microsoft. Somebody want to join? Yeah, doing the person right here. So let's try to add Microsoft here. Let me see if I do this. So Microsoft dot. Let's see if we're gonna get it. The SQL was supposed to be small letter, right? Let me put it from here. This is what we need, right? I'm just want to show you because I'm going to put the packages. So this is what we need. SQLite. We don't want to put this into our own databases. Right? So this is SQLite, and this is the package that we're going to use for our database. Most of us know about SQLite already, but I have prepared all the packages we want to install. If I'm to install, going to take time, right? So I'm going to go into this CS Pro. I think you can think of this CS Pro, stuff is that whenever you are working with React, Node.js, whatever, you see that you have this package.json where whenever you install a package, it's going to sit in there, right? You're going to go do that. And sometimes they have package.log or something. So you're going to put everything in there and then any package. So right now you can see that this is how C# or .NET ones also look like. Whenever you install a package, it's going to come here. So right now you see that we have only one, right? So I can delete this and then bring this. These are the packages I'm probably going to install. What is going to happen is that this is introduced in .NET, I think .NET 8 or something like that, right? Or .NET 9, where you probably will be able to use 8, right? Yeah, 8. Where
Yes.
yeah, it was 8, yeah. Where initially Swagger was the default kind of clients, stuff that you can use to make your API call. So this is helping you to use a different one. So you can still bring Swagger in. So if you are working with .NET 8 and you create a project, you see that the default is going to see some Swagger thing. So this is they are calling this here. So it means that we can use anything. But don't worry about that. The goal is that you need to understand this as a package the JSON from React and then Node environment, JavaScript environment. So we have a SQLite, which I've installed this one double, which is not what I want, right? And I have installed most of the packages double. Right. So we have this here, SQLite. We have entity framework core, which we already know about as something that will help us to write insert something into the database, do some database operation without writing SQL, right? So that is the packages that you install. Right? So that is it. So let me do .NET build to build the see if everything build and do stuff for us. So we have our packages setting. This is a warning coming in. We should probably make this or something. So let me change this to this. We don't want this. So this is basically a model we want to set into the database, right? So now that we are talking about controller-based approach, this when we created this, it wasn't a controller project, right? Because we're using the CLI, and the CLI can have something that will help you to create a controller-based approach. But when you create it like that, you're not going to have a controller project. But when you create this in Visual Studio, you can say that I want to have a controller-based. The controller-based approach is more enterprise level, like it helps you to organize your stuff in the different stuff, right? So I'm going to come in and say that we need to have some kind of a middleware right here. So say app dot map controllers, right? I think map controllers, right? Yeah. So this will help us to tell ASP.NET Core that, hey, this thing we are going to do is going to be a controller-based API that we are trying to build in here, right? So that is good, right? And here I can go and see that builder. Add the controllers, yeah, good. So this is what I need to do in here, right? And then we're going to bring in the SQL configuration. So let's go into the data and see how we can create some kind of add something to the database, right? So we're going to say the app DB contest, right? Mostly you will see this a lot, right? Is it correct? Contest. Okay, good. So app DB contest, right? This is where we say, hey, we want to put this model into the database, right? We have a model right here. What is this? And the goal is that this is what we want to insert into our database, right? So if you are to write a raw SQL script, it's going to be insert and all these things, right? So that is what we want to do, or create a table or something. But here we want to just do this as just C# code, right? So we can go ahead and say that contest, right? Yeah, which is coming from the entity framework that we just installed. Let's see. It's going to be DB contest instead, right? Yeah, DB contest. Actually, the identity framework was it installed properly? I just put it there, right? So this is going to be DB contest, and DB contest is it's not showing up. Yeah, it's coming now. Okay, so we do this, and it tell entity framework call that, hey, this is something we want to do some database operation here. And what I'm saying is that all of this is our basic stuff, right? So you can think of this that, hey, we want to insert something into the certain module into the database, right? So we are trying to tell entity framework that, hey, this is how it's going to be. So you see that we are creating an instance of something, right? So when this comes in here, we're going to do this, right? We're going to create this. You see that, hey, we are doing DB contest operations right here. And then the operation we want to do it with this app DB contest. And it's not always app DB. You can have your product DB contest or any DB contest. And then this is going to sit in here, right? So I think when you are working with other Mongoose and all these things, is that. So we're going to use, and this is simple, right? We say that, hey, DB set, trying to put this into the database and call the table product, right? It's very easy. So we did just code right here. This is what we're gonna do the whole database operation. So we are telling entity framework code that we want to insert this into the database, right? So that is it. So when we are done, we probably want, because we are using SQLite, right? We want to go ahead and register them in here, right? We want to, is because we already know that in the program.cs, that is where we do everything, right? So we're gonna go in here, and then we're trying to insert this. The group palette is wrong, so we don't know. So we say that builder, because you can see that this is the builder. We are using this here, right? This variable right here is calling this create a builder, which is coming from the ESP.NET Core. So if you want to do something, that is what we do. No. We are not putting the connection string in there, right? So the suggestion is trying to give is kind of good. So we're going to say that add DB contest, right? DB contest right here. And the DB contest, which DB contest we want to add? Our app DB contest, right? Our app DB, oh God, DB contest. Where was it? Yeah, it was this. Yeah, it was app DB contest. This is it. And the group palette is totally wrong. So let's not focusing on that, right? Okay, so our app DB contest. And then what we're going to do is that I'm going to say that OPT so OP, and then I'm going to say that this is it. What do we want to have in here is that we want to use the SQL, right? We want to go ahead and then say that we want to use SQLite, right? So this one we have here, and then we're going to say that the SQLite that we just install is SQLite, right? And then we want to call this like this. So SQLite, when we run migration, everything, it's gonna create something in here. It's gonna connect you to it without connecting to any kind of actual database, right? So we just want to use this minimal. And that is it. We have created our model. We have added it to this, and that is it. So the next thing we want to do is that we want to go ahead and add a migration. So we're going to say .NET, and this is how you also do it. .NET EF core EF, right? Add migration, something like that, right? Let's see if doing it. Am I doing it right there? .NET. I'm not even spelling .NET well. .NET EF right here. Add a migration, and I already have some. So we're going to say that initial migration, and then that is it. So we want to add a migration. Oh, the migration comes before the add. Yeah, I'm doing this wrong. Migration add. All right. Let's see. Is this instead? Probably. Yeah. Oh. .NET EF add.
No, migrations are.
Yeah, it's migration before. Yeah. I just want to.
Now the spelling is wrong. The spelling of the migrations.
Really? It's
Yes,
wrong.
MI. Yeah. Is it working?
Is it wrong still? Charlie, you guys should give me time. Let me go and pick my glasses.
It's MIGRA. I think you wrote on. Oh, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's working right now, right?
Oh,
But
okay. So it means I'm not seeing it.
For me to, because I don't know, I decided to not pick my glasses. That's so this creating some simple migration for us, right? Yeah. So we have a simple migration stuff, and we want to update this to the database. So let me see. Let's clear this. I think I have. So we're going to do the same call .NET EF core database update, right? So we do this, and then this is going to create the SQL stuff, SQLite stuff. So you see, SQL database is created, and that was the name that we gave it to it here. You say, hey, SQL, create something, the source data, call it as this. So now this is our database. So we can go and say that we want to create another kind of a service, right? So that's why I said in initial one is that, if this is supposed to be an express right now, everything will be working right now, right? Running up and running. But this is even simple way of creating it. So it gives you that kind of a structure. And this one, we are not following any architect or pattern or something. We are just doing it like this. So, this is going to be an interface. So this is probably going to be an interface where we define all the method that we want to define right here. Let's see if the Copilot will give that to us. Yeah. It's correct right here. We get this using INumerable. Yeah, so this is what we're going to implement in our service. Why is making this? We don't want to do this. So create, update, and all this stuff, right? So create, delete, update. This is a core functionality. So here, create in an interface, and we say that, hey, we want this interface to be implemented, right? So this is kind of, we are going to inject this interface in a service, right? And then it will implement everything in there. So that's what we do, right? So we're gonna go in here, and then we're gonna go and say that, hey, I want to do this. So this is gonna be the product service itself, and then we're gonna say that, hey, I want you to we did service product service, right? Service product. Oh, this is a wrong name. It should be product service, right? But don't worry. This is it. Okay. Let's see, and then let's try to implement all the interfaces. So this is very simple. It's fun, right? You create your interface in here, and then say, hey, I want to implement. So once you are changing your application, you'll be coming in and add more method or whatever interface method or something like that. But this is more of, I mean, a basic way of doing it. So this is it. We just want this to do the cloud functionality, but we're going to do it with our database, right? So what we do is that we're going to bring in our database to help us, right? So we're going to say that private. See where I'm trying to define the private stuff. Private read only, and then this is our database, right? So we're going to insert this right here, boom, and then we're going to have this kind of a constructor, right, in here. No, this is wrong. So in here, we're going to have a constructor. We add this to the constructor as the company suggests. Let's not do this to confuse you. Let's make it like that, right? So this is basically, we probably want to do this, right? We are bringing our database in here, and then you say that, hey, the operation that we are going to perform, we probably want to use a database, and when you are working with Node and other one, you use import, right? Here you say using, right? So when you are working with React, you say that, hey, import this, right? And then you import. Here you're saying that using. So using this namespace. So this one you use namespace was JavaScript, and this one it calls something a module or something like that, right? So now we have this thing right here. What do? We're gonna go and then we say we want to create a product. When you create a product, we just save it into the database, right? So in the basic concept, I can say that, hey, contest, add this product, which is here. So the product that we are going to put into here, right? Why is it? Do you guys know how to disable this Copilot thing from my application? It's sad, right? Yeah. So when we do this, what happens is that we save the changes and then we return product, right? So that is good. So let's return the product that we just in real world, you're probably going to have, and the return will not work, because let's make this async. In real world, you are going to have, oh, save the change async. Yeah, that's what I want. How do we disable this? Because this is going to be in sync with us this too. Oh,
You see top right, there's an image of a robot with a drop down beside it. Right above the service product. I think you should be able to disable that drop down.
Here.
I think manage. I can do that. I think I can do that.
No, go
manage or something like that.
Manage.
Yeah, it's supposed to take you to GitHub. You can turn it off there.
I can tell here, right?
Yes. Let me see which one.
Okay, it's enable CLI, enable desktop ID, right?
Yes. And that's right.
All of them is enable. You see?
But you can manage it here.
This one is you see the don't worry. I mean, let's manage it like that. It's kind of weird to be using it. Yeah, so don't worry. I mean, this will create a product and then put it into the database for us. What is the next one? The next one is probably I don't want to do this, right? What's gonna happen is that, let me pretend I don't know anything about Visual Studio, and then let's when we save the data right here. So in a basic way, we are trying to save this to creating a product, add a product, and this is coming from the entity framework that we just used. I mean, I think all this ORM, they have all these things, right? So when this line create, we just add the product. So the product is this, and then we add, we save the change, we return the product. Just a basic stuff. So if you want to get this, and this is enumerable. I think I don't want to go there, the difference between enumerable, queryable, and all this stuff. But this is basically, we want to fetch something from the database, right? We want to get something from the database. So all of them, right? At this point in the real world, you don't want to pull all the information from the database. It's going to be an issue, right? So you have some kind of pagination or something. But in this case, I just want to go in here and trying to change it to async. And then I'm going to go in here. We probably can assign this to, yeah, return a product to it. Yeah, that is good. And then, yeah, the Copilot suggested return also. Right? We just want to go into the database, and this is our database because we have already assigned our database to this, right? Think of it like that. And you go to the product database and then give us everything to a list, right? This is the different concept of why we are doing it to list, right? But this is, think of this as I'm getting everything from the database. And then if you are getting this from the database, get by ID to, it's going to be something like that, right? Yeah, in the real world, you probably will want to, if the product is not found, you probably want to have this kind of exception, right? Maybe through in exception of maybe through new exception, right? There was something called key not found. Yeah, key not found exception. You see, me, I want to implement my logic. See this, the Copilot, and when it happens like that, you can't is it accept or escape. Okay, reject. Okay, so don't worry. I just want to show you the way. This is very simple. If the product is not found, just go to 52 minutes, and then delete to. We're gonna have why did I change this to Boolean? You see, I don't want to use the Boolean approach for now. Let's remove this. I don't want to do the Boolean approach. Let's do something simple, right? So that it won't be like confused stuff. Okay, remove. Okay, yeah, I suggested it, right? So when we are done, what do we do, right? When the product is not found, we throw in an exception, right? I think we there. If this is not null, right? But let me do this like this. Let's have a simple logic. This thing is stuff. Yeah. So basically, this is how we delete this from the database, and this is. Oh God. Let's do update to. So this is how we update this. Update to suggest update. So we go to the database. If it is null, you say that hey, this is not null. And in real world, you might not do it like this. You probably you have some mapping way of doing it. But let's have this as a simple way of doing it, right? The product that the user is gonna put in there. We get the product, and then they say that hey, what we have in there, this is the new one, right? This is the new one. And then you see that what the user is gonna enter here, we want to override that one that we have in our database. We update that one, and then we save the changes and make sure that we always save the changes and all that, right? So not spend, when we are done, you go into your program.cs. That is where you'll be trying to register your service because you have already created a service, and we know that the service is where we're trying to register everything, right? So the Copilot suggested one. This is good. So we're gonna say that hey, register the product service in here, so that when we run the application, you get to know. And we go to the controller ASAP, right? We're gonna go to the controller and say that product controller. Okay, this is going to be a controller. So you see the approach of ASP.NET Core. You have your service that basically contain all your kind of your business logic, right? And then you have a controller that expose your endpoint. So if it is Node.js, you have your controller, you have your route and all that. But here we do the routing in the controller. Right? Very simple as that. So you have your service, and you have, containing your business logic. So you're in a simple form, your service is talking to. Let's fix this, and then let's use async wait for this. Don't worry, I just want to and then we return this. Right? I don't want to do form task right here. I just want to do it simple like this. Oh God. Yeah. So we use async, right, for that, right? Because we are performing those kind of operation, right? So this is basic, right? It's not following any pattern, just for us to get our hands on, right? We come here. This is going to be controller based, controller based stuff. Oh, base controller or base. Oh God, mostly these things. So this is going to be kind of a controller base, right? So this is, we are going to tell ASP.NET Core that, hey, this is a controller base, right? So this is, it should be a controller base. What is happening right here? Okay. Oh, yeah. So this is going to be a controller base, right? And when we have this controller base, we are telling ASP.NET Core that, hey, this is a controller, right? Make this controller. So that we be able to use all the HTTP method, right? And the second thing is that, hey, the goal is that we have our service that contain our business logic. And then we say that the service will then talk to the controller to expose all the endpoints through our business logic, right? So first of all, have a model. And what happened is that the model is talking to our database, right? Trying to insert to the database. And the database is talking to the service with all our business logic, right? And then the service is now talking to the controller to expose or what we want the user to. So when the user hits endpoint, it's go to the controller come to the service and check the business logic, right? And then when it check the business logic and everything it go to the database, right? You go to the database and give us the data the user is trying to request for. So that is the flow controller service, and that is the basic way of getting it, right? So here we need to also trying to bring in here, we bring in our I product service, because our interface control, has all the method that we have. So when you go in here, it's us, or all these things that we need. So the next thing that we want to do is that we want to add kind of a constructor way of doing things, right? So those of us from the object-oriented stuff, you understand a constructor, right? Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's trying to suggest everything. So in here, we know about HTTP method already, right? Where we have post, get, and everything. This is a CRUD functionality. So the first one is that I want to get everything that we have in the database. Yeah, we have this name. And in here, because here is trying to expose something. We are not interested. We are not interested in anything. What we are interested in here is that we want to expose call the method that we have in the service. So when the user hits endpoint from here, but let's do this HTTP kind of, let's say that API controller, right? And then we have a route. I'm going to say that this is API. So our endpoint is going to be slash. In real world, we're going to have some kind of version stuff, right? So in here you can maybe do v1 slash the controller, right? Or something like that. And then when you can remove the controller, and then when you come in here, you specify the route, right? So here, if you want to get product, what happened is that we can pass in. We can pass in this. And then when you do API, right, version slash this, it's probably going to give us all the product, right? Yeah. So that's basically what we want to do. And then let's go. When we get by ID, the same thing, right? Here, as I said, I can do this, but I don't want to do this for now. I will leave that one for my business logic to handle if the product is not found, right? Yeah. So if the product is not found, I mean, the services already handled that one already for us, right? When we get by ID and when we get by ID and it's not found, we throw in exception. Right? Okay, good. So the controller is simple. We go in there and then we say that HTTP post. So if you want to post something into the database, we say that create and then we do this. But we need to bring this, right? If it is not null, yeah. So this Copilot, what is doing? So what happened is that if the product that we are having in here, when the user is not entering anything, this will throw an exception before it gets to our service, right? So you say, hey, product cannot be null. Before our actual business logic we have in our service is gonna hit, right? So that is also how you do it. And then the only thing that we have is delete. Delete by okay, we have updates yet, right? It's trying to do the same thing. Yeah. So we call the goal is that in a controller, you call your business logic, right? You call your business logic. Yeah. So I think we have a few times. Yeah, this is a delete. And one thing is that in .NET ESP, you see this is already inbuilt for you. I think when you are coming from Node, you probably will specify that you want these things to be like this. This is already inbuilt, right? So just call this, pass in the route you want to do. And if everything works, we can go in then and run this. So this, hey, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? I want to clear this terminal right here. So I want to clear the terminal right here. And then now, if we run our application and go to Postman, we can perform operation over there, right? So let's say .NET, .NET run, right? Let's do run. And this is going to run application here. And let's see if we want to get the product. So now the route is going to be like this. So let's go to Postman. It's not going to be like this anymore here. And it's going to be like this. And then because we want to get product and we are saying that, hey, this one is get product. So we probably want to go and see if our endpoint is working. And this is the get request. It's not working. What? It's running on which port? Oh, I'm not running the .NET. Oh, okay. So it's running on local.
I think you got the URL wrong. You missed a slash in the Postman.
Yeah.
Right after the port.
Here, yeah, where the API is, right? Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, we are getting empty stuff, but it's the request is 200, right? The request is 200. So I think this is looking. Let's duplicate this, and now let's do post. And then when we want to post, I think it's very simple, right? We have only, what do we have? We have name, right? Let's go here. Name and description. Okay, so if we want to post something, we can say name, and then here is going to be test. And then what else do we have? We have a description. Let's copy that. We're wasting time. Description, and in here, oh, we're going to say this is test something right here. So let's see if we create it to create. It's creating, because we are saying that, hey, when we create return, and then we are getting this GUI ID stuff, right? So this is the ID, is very nice. So let's create second one, 2, right? And then let's hit enter right here, and we can even create some random stuff right here, so that when we go get all right now, here now, if you get, we should be getting these things, right? These things are coming in, and this is how we do it, right? So now we're able to create a product, and then when we go to get product, But as I said, in real world, you don't do this. Right? So those of us coming from, you have to do pagination so that something is going to put everything from your database and everything. So let's duplicate this tab again. And what we're going to do is that we're going to get by ID, right? So let's see if we go in here and I pick a random ID right here. Let's see the port. If we work like that. So let's see method. Oh, okay. We are still doing post. Okay. So it means that we can get by ID. When we pick a specific ID, it's gonna work. Let's go to duplicate this. And now when we check in here, right? I think when we check it, how many? We don't have the total stuff, but we're expecting this we want to delete it, right? So now when we get it here, it comes. So we can go in here to postman and see that, hey, we want this to be deleted post. And then we are getting this no content. It means that it's good. When we do that, we're gonna get no content again, right? But the request is successful, but no content, right? We are not handling the error exception, because if we delete this, we should be getting a proper message that it's not found or something. But don't worry, that is the concept. You create, you delete. What else do we need to do? Update, right? Oh, okay. We have spent a lot of time already. So we can update stuff. Here, hey, where is it? In here, I can change this and see that this is going to be put request. I'm going to go to the body. Okay, we already have something in here. Get by ID. I was sending this request instead. So now if I send this request, it will not work. It still work. Okay, but don't worry. So the goal is that we want to update something here. So when I change this to put, we hit request. Method is not allowed, right? But okay, it's put. Let's see. Because the ID is not found, right? The ID is not found. So let's go and find. Let's find this. Where we say two, right? Let's go and update this to something else. Where is it? Where is the update? So let's paste this ID right here. Oh God, the ID I didn't copy the ID. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So we copy the ID. We go to here. We paste the ID, and then we see that this is going to update it. Let's say update, right? And I'm going to see that we updated this to see if things work like how we want it to be, right? Something like that. Let's see. Good. Now it's updated. Now when we go in here, we check. You see, we are changing it, right? So basically, it's very easy, but it's not. You have to go through some kind of process to get this thing working. And so this is our database, right, sitting in here, right? SQLite. So this is it, right? With just a few lines of code, it's a lot in a certain way though, but we are creating something, right? This is how you build a simple cloud functionality right now. Just a few lines of code and then it's working, right? So you can then go ahead and then build authentication. And authentications are mostly like built in, so you don't need to worry about that, right? So you're going to search for identity. Where was the nuggets of? So you're going to search for Microsoft this, right? And then you're going to say that identity, right? Identity or something like that. This is basically how you're going to do authentications. I hope in Node.js you do some kind of a passport JS and then things and then things. Right? So one thing that helps you when it comes to .NET ASP is that it's a Microsoft product, so it's being maintained well, right? There's a lot of things coming in the community, a lot of people are using it, and it's easy to maintain, right? So if this code base, if I'm to come back and maintain this code base, it's not confusing, right? It's kind of easy way of doing it. If I want to change the route, I know that I'm going to controller, business logic, I know I'm going for my service, and then I want to add more stuff, I go in here, right, to interfaces. But in the real world product, you're going to structure your application to follow a certain standard or architect that the company is using or the product is using, right? But here we just register our service and everything is working, right? So at this point, I think it's cool, right? There was a question, right? ORMs, yeah. Yeah, somebody was saying that I should disable the inline. Another quick way of suspending Copilot is log out and prevent Copilot from suggest. Yeah, it's weird. That thing. It's kind of, but what can I do? I have to. Yeah, yeah. It's been used, right? So what I think I have a video. I mean, yeah. How is the identity being used to? Somebody is asking, right? Yeah, somebody is in left corner, right? Left corner from we can log out. How is that one? Okay. Left side. So when we have this, we can quick log out, right? Okay. There is an inline. Oh, sorry. And then I press in the icon. Yeah. I think, and then person icon. Oh, then don't worry. I will find a way to basically disable this from my VS Code, because it's kind of it's in here. Can disable it from here. Open the panel and everything. In the lower left corner, person account. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. So when I sign out like this, yeah, it won't work, right? Okay. Yeah. So now we can write our own code. It's kind of trying to, I mean, enforce some rule for us whilst we don't want that things to, happen. Yeah. So somebody was asking how the identity can be used to do the authentication. Probably my GitHub. I mostly wanna log into, but I'll try to. So let's say that if I'm wanna do something that I'll come log in again or something, but they should. I'll find a proper way of doing it. Mostly I use Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code, right? So it's kind of hard right here, but it's good. The reason why I wanted to use Visual Studio Code is that it's easy for everybody can install. I know people are using Mac and then things. Right? So Visual Studio is not basically available around. Yeah, when I need access on Copilot. Yeah, some people love VS Code. Probably it depends. But when you are working on .NET environment like this, Visual Studio probably going to be your friend, right? Yeah. So let me see. I'm not even seeing the work stuff right here, which I don't want to do that. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. We have some people here. Yeah. So basically, that is it. Is them. Somebody was asking. Let's address this question where you use the identity to do your your stuff. Oh, really? They have a CLI, GitHub Copilot CLI. Oh. Yeah. It's not available on Linux, right? Yeah. Yeah, Visual Studio is more of Visual Studio is more of Windows stuff, right? I think they used to have, but I love Visual Studio, right? I love Visual Studio. I love Visual Studio because I have access to the enterprise, but it helps, when you are working with .NET, it helps. But VS Code can also do the job. But when you were running, certain like production ready code where there was a lot of tests and everything, right? So it helps you, especially when you are using the enterprise version, right? You get access to a lot of things. One thing I love about Visual Studio is that it has live unit test. So I can run a test, and then whilst I'm doing it, like live unit test, right? So the test is live, trying to run it. But you only get that feature when you are using the enterprise one, right? I think so. Here you can go to where do they have pricings here, right? Yeah, so you can use it for free, right? And you can also log in, and then if you are working for a company, they might have the keys, and then they want to give it to you. So the question of how do you use identity to do those things, I think those people work with Django, right? Django has that concept of that inbuilt authentication already, right? So it's kind of a package where you probably will go and bring in here, right? And then it has a lot of things for you, right? So it has a lot of things inbuilt where you can even do the social outs and everything. So how it works is that they have built underground logics, right? So you calling something we call app user, right? So when you are doing your model like this, in here, you'll be injecting, say if this is a user stuff, what you do is that you're going to have something called identity user or something like that, right? Identity user from the identity package from here. I think we will do a video about, we would find a way to build maybe login and something with Brisa or something, then you will get it right. So the goal is that they have already built in it for you. So something like, they also already have some database name in there, right? So yeah. Yeah, it's open source, right? And I think Visual Studio Code right now, people are trying to fork it like Keza, and then they say a lot of people are forking it, and they are trying to build their own AI. So that's why Microsoft decided to make, now they call it AI test editor, right? They don't call it, I think they don't call it, they are calling it a different name, or like it's a AI test editor or something like that, right? I saw that. Yeah, somebody like the AWS. But this AI thing, yeah, Visual Studio, right? Free and open source, right? Yeah. So this is it. Visual Studio, yeah. You see, this is it, right? Open source AI code editor, right? So now this is how they are calling it, open source AI code editor, right? So this is it, and they are trying to make everything look AI, which I personally don't think about. It's a good idea, right? Everything is AI, so that they are saying, or day in day out, they are trying to put AI into it. So now they call it open source AI code editor. Right? So if you want, this is how it look like. Everything. The model 2 they are using, the AI to, I think people are saying that there is also, is it Claude AI or something? What is the name of? What is the name? Is it AI or something?
Yeah, there's also Claude.
Yeah.
Claude, yes. Yeah.
Okay. They are saying
The
that
other
this
ones,
one.
I think.
They are saying that this one. So you guys, who is using something like this? Someone is using it.
Yeah, I use Claude and Grok too. Sometimes I also use Grok.
This one, you pay $17, right? Or 20.
Yeah, but
Yes.
there's the free tier, then there's free, and there's max.
Oh, God. So this one, it has a limit, right? And it says
Yes, it has some limit.
oh, and it says CLI2. So you logged in and then you install the CLI2, right? And
It works like Chat GPT. You can use it like a chat GPT.
But this one will be able to read the code in your current directory, right?
Yes. Yes, if you integrate.
Oh, and do they have that kind of agent mode like this thing Copilot thing they are trying to introduce, where it does a task on its own, like you go and make changes to the code and everything?
Okay, they don't have an editor, so you have to. I think you can include that in Keza for it to do that. They don't have
Oh,
they don't have an editor of their own, but you can use it with an editor, an AI editor.
but this will basically give you the suggestions, and then you're gonna type in instead of you trying to do the agent where the agent will write the code itself, right?
I think you can do that.
Yeah, somebody is trying saying that there's another one like this, which is the AI prototype for production. So this is also AWS released this, or is it? Which one is this? It's not AWS one.
Yeah, this is the one that uses the VS Code open source, but instead of GitHub, it uses the Amazon Q AI.
Oh,
It's new.
so it's powered by the Amazon. Oh, okay, it's new.
Yeah, playing with it. Yeah, it's new. Playing with that. Kind of let it.
Really? Wow. So we check the pricing thing. So oh, okay. So for now, it's a free tier. Okay, it's for free. You don't have preview. Take advantage of reasonable limits at no cost. Oh, if you didn't, you can try this one. It's trying to create a Rust program here. Oh, why are they using Rust to do the demo here? I did Rust fun.
I've used it for C#. I've used it for Python, TypeScript, PowerShell.
So,
it's pretty good.
I mean, isn't this causing an issue? Maybe in the local code base, if you are working with people, or you use it for your personal project where you are doing your thing, because in the production code base, I mean, work environment, people are doing things in their own way. Would this change, go in there and change that code? Because I've seen that one on Twitter where people are saying that they ran into an issue where the AI changed the whole code, and every time it was not working, right? It isn't like this. So when you are giving the whole code base to this editor, it's going to do the changes in a specific way, or how do you use it?
Very similar to GitHub. I mean, it has a scope. So when you have the current window open or the current file open, that's your primary context. If you wanted to search the whole project, then you got to specify, and then you tell it to, hey, don't make changes to certain areas. I mean, you could restrict it. So you can set your scope. And of course, if you're using Git, I mean, it should be a problem. Or if you're using any kind of version control, shouldn't be a problem. So you
you can always
merge the pieces.
Yeah,
you can merge what you want.
Yeah, you can always roll back. Yeah. So it makes things fast for you. Oh, really? That this is good. Clinic.
Yeah, it's a productivity booster, no doubt.
Yeah. So that is this is really, really nice. I think after, I mean, today too, I'll try and see. And so Oh, okay. So what was this released by AWS? Because I know that AWS release their own test editor, right? Is it this one? Or
Well, they released their Amazon Q, their platform for their language models. But this is just, everybody's going to come out with an IDE. And so they adopted Visual Studio Code as their base. Somebody else may do what's that other editor that's real popular? Google might adopt. I know they use them for Android development. So, it's just most of the IDEs out there right now are really good. So I don't think you can go wrong.
Yeah, the competition is tough right now. The markets, everybody is coming up with something, and I think it's making it good. But most of the time, I'll try.
It's making it good for us.
Yeah, good for us.
For
Sometimes
developers.
I'm afraid of what people are putting on Twitter and seeing that it messes up a code base. So imagine you're gonna. But there was one that yesterday it was in the news. What is the name of? They are saying it's a code reviewer or something. Is it rapid or it's I forgot the name, right? It's rap something, right? It does a code review, right? So you can pair that one when you're about to push the code to GitHub, right? It's gonna review the code and give you suggestions or trying to tell like a senior engineer, some kind of thing, right? But I think this era
the Sonar Cube or something like that.
the Sonar Cube.
Check.
The Sonar Cube, I have someone here. The Sonar Cube, even we are using it. The Sonar Cube, you can build it in your pipelines, right?
Yes, and to review the code.
Yeah, but when this one they are saying it's a AI. This is one.
What is Sonar
AI.
Cube too?
You can use Sonar Cube. I mean, the DevOps
You're looking for performance or security or compliance.
Yeah, but for the AI, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, we are adopting it in a way though. But and I think at this point, as a developer, most people don't have option because you are working with a lot of things like you are that kind of multitasker. This can help you, right? You can open another project whilst you are just changing some code in there and then you are doing this thing. So yeah, I'll try this one too. But this one too, I mean, one of my colleagues was saying that this is good. This is really good. This cloud one. They are saying it's the best in the market. I mean, I don't know about that. I've not used it before.
Yeah, cloud is good, but Grok is also good.
The Eromas one, right?
Yes, XAI.
Hey, wow, that one too is for coding. You installed, is it a text editor too or CLI? Actually, and then I don't know what is going on.
That's a GPT you can chat with.
So is it sitting on? It's sitting on. It's sitting on.
You use it like Chat GPT. So you create an account and you chat with it.
Okay. So something like this. If I want to, okay.
I bet you if you search, they may already have an ID out. These things change like weekly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
They are new ones almost every week.
So I need to log in. Well, I can continue with my Twitter account. Okay, I must.
Yes.
And then you'll be able to do. And I think this will. Wow. You can talk to it too.
It can take large contexts.
As you compare
very
to
good with document pattern. Yes, very good with document pattern. I think it's also quite good with code too.
Oh. But I don't know.
One of the key things, the privacy policy is something you want to make sure you read.
Yeah. But do you think that this privacy stuff are they following what they are saying? I mean, under the hood, because we all understand that you can implement a system and then you write this and the system is not doing this in the deep down, right?
Well, if they post it, if they post an agreement, things that they, policies that they say they're going to adhere to, and they do not, they open themselves up for liability suits.
Yeah. Can catch them. If you catch them, you can sue them, but mostly they will not give you that. But I think it's good. We have
It's
a
a
lot
good
of
way
them.
to use AI to compare privacy, policies between companies, and
Really
that's what I do. Yeah, so you can
Mm,
see, okay, who's going to protect my code, my intellectual property, or my
mm,
data?
yeah. Private right choices and all that. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's better you always read all these things to understand. Oh, okay. I love these things.
You got to agree just to try it, but before you start putting the bank on it, I always like to know. Okay, it's something
Yeah.
that I might be able to lose rights to.
Oh, this is very nice. Can you do for me? Oh, right. So you see, it's starting to do. I'm AI. I'm your task here. Answer question real time info and all. Oh, okay. Visual data. AI. Oh, so every day we are having. I mean, new model is coming. New model is coming, and I think we love these things. So probably only know about. But I will see one day if I can get this one. The MCP also can. Yeah. So I think it's nice for you guys to join us and then we having a chat. I mean, one-on-one session. It's nice. Now I get to know that there is more AI tested data that I can use AI models. I don't know about this one. Now I know this one though. I'll try to install this and see. It's making the RAS code look like it's something simple, right? But it's good. Good. Okay. So you can have implementation plan that you will write it, and then it will follow that one to implement autopilot, right? Please create an email obtain for.
There's also one from Firebase.
Oh.
Fire AI or something. Firebase AI or something like that. Firebase from Firebase.
Yeah, full stack.
Yeah, they did some React project for me sometime.
Oh, it's create a whole. Right. We are doing manual work right here. You can try it out. API using a logic. Okay, I think this is good. I mean, more AI coming in and then making it good. You pay for it. Can use this because this one the way it's doing Rust code. I love the Rust code stuff. You see, the cursor itself is also pricing, but this is free, right? So now you can use it for free. The limited improvement in the preview. During the preview, limited comfortable. Yeah, so I think at this point, is there any question? Somebody was asking about how we can use the identity to implement authentication.
Okay, I think that's out of this scope. So we could have another meeting to do full authentication using different authenticating options.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be much better. So the person should note it down to have another meeting to show something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we are almost, want to waste much time right here. We probably might.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for coming. It was a pleasure having you. We're having subsequent meetings. I think we are planning for a physical event which will notify you earlier. And there's also a Microsoft Ignite event coming up in November, which you should all plan towards too. Yeah, so it's good having everybody here. I think we can all wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you for Yes.
in case there's
So
no
the
more
video
guests.
will be available on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think will it be on LinkedIn too, or so will it be, or it will only be on YouTube?
Yeah, we send a link across, so we uploaded the whole video on YouTube so that you'll be able to go and watch these things later on. In case you have a question, you can reach out to us. And if you have idea to, I mean, what you think we can do to make the community moving, you can also reach out to us and they say, I have this idea. What do you think? And then we all build this thing together. I think that would be the best thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any other topics you want us to cover, like how someone suggested the authentication, you can also put it across. You have a WhatsApp group, you can join and share your ideas there, and we can create the topics and then treat them one after the other so that you can all have something to learn and work on.
Yeah, some the .NET Aspire thing. I think last we had a speaker from Germany where we have that video on the YouTube channel already. I think we did a live event, but we have not done that one as a community and I mean event right here. So if also you can come and share your knowledge with us, welcome you. Can also come and share your knowledge with us, right? So if you have a topic too and you think that you can share with the community, you have learned something new, there's something in it, you can also come and then so share with us. So the .NET Aspire, yeah.
Clifford, I think you can share the WhatsApp group link in this chat so that
I'm copying it. I'm copying it right here from the ground up. Yeah. If you love to contribute, that is very good. We would love to have you on board. Yeah, I'm trying to share the WhatsApp. This is the WhatsApp community. Yeah, so can we connect or something? I don't know if we arrange the stuff, right? What do you think? If you want to share, someone want to share a knowledge with the community.
Yes, you can get in touch. You arrange anything. Please, can it going on?
I was going to say, is there a LinkedIn group?
Something?
Yes, I was asking you about LinkedIn. That's my primary social media.
Yeah, if you can
put down most of the others.
Yeah, if you can paste it here right now, I will connect with you, right? And after that, we pick it from there.
See if I get that one through here.
Oh, I hope that one will be a good thing for you. Or I should. What do you think?
Yes, you can also get the link. I'm trying to get the link here. Share page.
Yeah. So probably I'm gonna connect with you right now, and then I'm gonna follow you, right? And I'm gonna send you a message right now. Oh, unless you accept. They are asking me for premium one. But
I've pasted the link to the group in
the LinkedIn one, our LinkedIn page, right? So
yes,
I've sent him a request to. When he accepts, I can send him a message. Then that one will also help us to, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll get in touch and we will pick it from there, and then we'll be happy to have you sharing your knowledge with the community right here in Ghana, right? And I think this is good. Right? So thank you. I mean, Kofi. So this one.
Okay. All right. So thank you, everyone. I think we will end here. We look forward to meeting you another time. Thank you for your time. Yes, and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.